I'm delighted to be joined by Mr. Łukasz Przybyszewski. He's an expert on Middle Eastern affairs. Łukasz, welcome to TVP World, and thank you for taking the time.
Good evening. Thank you for inviting me.
Good evening. So, Iran says that as far as they're concerned, the situation is now settled. I'm not sure that Israel would agree, and there is likely to be retaliation. What do you think Iran's end goal is, or was, when releasing those rockets, missiles, drones, and so on?
Well, Iran set up a trap. We have waited 2 weeks for a retaliation. When it came, it turned out that Israel most likely would not be able to take all those missiles and drones down just by itself. It had to rely on external help, so allies. And Iran has orchestrated this attack and organized it in such a way that we see it was supposed to deliver a message, and it did. And it also did impose huge cost on the defense. So that's the main problem here that Israel sees, that they did something. They killed a few generals, officers, but the price that's coming afterwards is way higher than those soldiers were worth in their eyes.
Right.
Iran, in my opinion, has acted here now in a very dignified way. So they have shown that they are a worthy opponent, that they have this political culture, strategy, etc. It's very refined and so on. So they informed in advance that something will happen, more or less this and that. That's the timing. So we see that Israel is in a pretty bad position, because the Israeli culture, political culture, does not easily come over, does not easily get over defeats, failures. That's the total opposite in Iran. I mean, their tolerance is much higher. They can just digest and then later on live on, even if they had significant failures, because that's their culture.
Right.
They have this idea of martyrdom, etc.
Understood. But Iran is having its own internal problems, is it not? Economic problems in particular. And many countries have in the past used some aggression against other countries as a way of distracting its population. Do you think that could be the case here as well?
Not really, because we have dire economic situation also in other countries, also in Israel, because they are at war. Iran is not, of course, but it's under a heavy sanction regime, etc. But the truth is, Iran can still manage. They can still handle. Internal dissent is pretty much managed. Because they have a quite good control over the society. So we see that, the inflation is about 30%, close to 40-ish, something like that, but still they manage. The middle class is being drained, but they do go forward, etc. When we come to internal security, the thing is that from a demographics security point of view, the last moment when the youth could take over was in 2009. People are now just too old for that in Iran.
Well, yes, and demonstrations are very severely suppressed, are they not? We saw that when there were killings of women who protested against the use of the burqa. So the other thing is, we saw pictures of Iranians celebrating on the streets after this attack by Iran. Is the dislike for Israel as widespread as it seems in those pictures?
It is, frankly. It is, because one thing is to hate one's own ruling class, That's completely different from what happened in Palestine and Israel. From most people, I mean, not everyone would go to the street and chant, Mark bar Omriko, so death to America and Mark bar Israel, but they would certainly be at home and just talk with friends that they hate Israel for what they're doing, that they're killing children, etc., etc., etc. So the same narrative that's in the Iranian media is the same. They will, of course, say also that Hamas should not have done that, what they did, yeah? But nevertheless, they will still feel and think that it's Israel that carries the biggest fault here, yeah? That
Right.
it's acting like the apartheid regime. So
Understood. But I mean, they've hated Israel and the US for many, many years, even before this Gaza issue started. Unfortunately, we're going to have to leave it there, but thank you very much for taking the time to join us tonight and your insights.
Thank you.
Have a good evening.
Thank you. Good evening.